Hello, my name is Jeanette Flamini.
Hi, my name is Victor Flamini, and I'm here to talk a little bit about my family background.
I was born April 21st, 1968. I was born in Camden, New Jersey. My mother is Joanne Brocious. Her maiden name is McCluskey. My father was John Brocious. My mother's mother was Mary Jane Arthur McCluskey. Her father was Joseph McCluskey. My father was born in Maryland. He did not know who his father was.
I'm one of three siblings. My parents are Victor and Marie Flamini. My dad is one of six siblings. His parents, my grandparents, are Achille and Adelina Flamini. Both Achille and Adelina Flamini were born in Italy. They moved to the United States when they were adults, and they had all six of their children in the United States. They came in through New York City and moved to Camden, New Jersey, and spent most of their life in Camden, New Jersey. My dad met my mom, Marie, in Collingswood, New Jersey. After my parents were married, they had three children, myself and my two sisters, Adelina and Michelle, which are twins. On my mom's side of the family, my mom's parents, Michael and Virginia Scarpignato, they were also both born in Italy. They came to the United States as adults, and all three of their children were born in the United States. They also came into the United States through New York, and they resided in Reading, Pennsylvania. They lived in Reading, Pennsylvania for many years, then moved to Collingswood, New Jersey, where my mom lived for most of her adolescent years. My mom and dad, again, like I said, met in Collingswood, New Jersey, and then shortly after they were married, they moved to Marlton, New Jersey, and that's where I grew up.
I have three siblings. Oldest brother, Jeff, was born in 1964. The next brother, John, was born in 1965. And then my sister was born after me, Jane. She was born in 1970. Jeff is married to Desiree. They have two children, Olivia and Luke. John is married to Kathy. They have four children, John, Nicholas, Leanne, and Elizabeth. Jane is unmarried, but she has one daughter, Samantha. When I was about 5 years old, my father left our household. My mother was forced to go to work for the first time in probably 10 years. She was considered handicapped because she only has one arm. She was born that way. We didn't have much money growing up as children. We were taken care of a lot by our grandparents, who provided most of our clothing and anything extra that we ever wanted in our lives.
As I said earlier, I grew up in Marlton, New Jersey. I was one of three with two twin sisters. We spent a lot of time together as a family. Some great memories that I have with my family are a lot of trips down to the shore, Wildwood, New Jersey, and Sea Isle City. We owned a house in Sea Isle City for quite a few years and spent a lot of summers there down the shore. My dad worked for the Courier Post newspaper for many years. He worked for the Courier Post for approximately 30 years and retired from there. He worked in the composing department, where he did a lot of the newspaper page layouts and camera work. My mom was a dental assistant and also made a career change later in her life. and became an administrative assistant.
My father, when I was growing up, was a chief of police of my town, so I would strive not to get in trouble when I was a kid, because I never wanted to have the police bring me back to my dad's office and get in trouble. I found out that I was athletic. I was asked by a lot of the teachers in the school to play the different sports, basketball and softball, in my 7th grade year, which was, I found out to be a lot of fun. So I played in 7th grade. In high school, I was recruited to work in a teenage dance club. And I worked there with my sister, who was dating a boy named Russ, who had a friend named Victor, who one night came to pick up my sister from work. And that's when I met my husband, Victor, in 1986, when I was 18 years old. And we walked around Kings Grant lights and parking lot that night and talked for hours and hours and hours. And when I came home, I told my mom that was the man I was going to marry. And 5 years later, I did. One year, I think I was around 19 or 20 years old, I took a plane ride by myself to Hawaii to visit my brother, John, who was in the Marines, and he was stationed in Hawaii. And I stayed there for about 10 days, I think. That was a lot of fun. That was my first time I've ever been on a major trip anywhere. And that's the furthest I've ever gone on a plane. Probably only taken plane rides maybe 5 times in my lifetime, and Florida's been my destination for the other ones.
I went to Cherokee High School and graduated in 1983. I then went on to Drexel University in 1983 and graduated from Drexel with a degree in accounting and finance in 1988. After graduating, I moved to New York and worked in New York for IBM for a few years. Then made a decision to move back to New Jersey for a job opportunity here in New Jersey, where I am an accountant and CFO for a retirement community. I met my wife, Jeanette, in 1986. Jeanette's from Audubon, New Jersey, and she's one of 4 children. Jeanette and I were married in 1991, and we resided at that point in Medford Lakes, New Jersey. We have 4 children, Gabriella, Victor, Andre, and Giovanna. And all 4 children, along with the family, are now in Medford, New Jersey. We moved from Medford Lakes to Medford, New Jersey in 1999.
We would play a lot of games outside as a kid. We used to play probably kick the can every night. Every summer night, I can always remember playing kick the can. And my brothers had hooked up a spotlight in the backyard, and at our house we would have all-night wiffle ball parties. And if you were able to hit the ball over the 2nd-story windows, it was a home run. And I can remember doing a few of those. Such an accomplishment. Is that good?